All right.
Bonjour.
Jazz
What's up,
hands.
Philly boy?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
You know what you are.
Good.
Cold.
Cold.
How bad is it over there in Ireland, Jack?
It's not as bad as it is in Poland. That's for
I see how it is.
sure. It's pretty cold, but it's definitely not your cold.
Dude, it's 6 degrees here. So
Yeah, I think we're probably double digits, maybe 10, 12.
Easy.
tropical.
I should stop bitching about the New York cold and it's nowhere near bad as you, Sam. Jesus.
How cold is it in New York at the moment?
Like 32, 34, something like that.
What, Fahrenheit?
What's that?
Fahrenheit or,
Yeah.
or Celsius?
No, Fahrenheit.
Yeah, we're talking Celsius. Six
Oh,
Fahrenheit, dude.
You're gonna have to dumb it down for us Europeans. Yep.
And is it holiday week? Where is everybody?
So what's going to happen? I told you that. I told you that, guys, across the board, everywhere. I told you that this is the shit that people do. Makes no logical sense, but this is the reality. This is how, like, if you just put your fucking shoulder to the wheel, you can get ahead of everybody quickly.
I have felt like hibernating in this weather. I just feel like hibernating, but I keep my calendar open and the calls come in. So I'm like, okay, let's go.
You're all just working. A couple of minutes before we get going. Anyone, any questions or issues or problems, concerns?
yeah, I have a question, Bill. So what I've been noticing in some of my calls recently, like regarding like fear specifically, is sometimes I'm finding these guys throw like more than one fear at a time, where it's like themselves, us, it's like a whole slew of that.
Yeah.
So my question is, when we're like getting toward the tail end of that before like the objection handling process, is there a way to like really flush out what fear you're dealing with ahead of time?
Yeah.
Because it's like what I'm finding is I'm dealing with one midway through and then it ends up being something totally different.
Yeah.
And then there's like multiple doors
Do you
I
know
have
what
to
that
close.
means? Do you know what that means?
What's that mean?
Do you know what that means though? Like if you're dealing with one fear and then another fear flips up and then another fear flips up after that. Do you know what that is?
I mean, as a commonality, it's just pure just uncertainty
In
in
who?
the
In themselves.
in
It's
themselves.
like,
Yeah.
it's like you got to combine it all together and you got to overcome the person then. It's not like I'm overcoming past problems, past issues, past concerns, all this stuff. And of course, you are going to do that. But what all that stuff is that they're fearful of everything, which means that they're fearful of one thing, which is themselves.
Yeah.
So I would actually highlight that a lot. It just sounds like you're uncertain on everything. Do you know the common denominator? You can actually tell people, coach people, you can do things like this.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're a little bit uncertain of, past failures and moving into tomorrow and potentially failing again. Do you know what all that kind of means, buddy? You know what I'm going to tell you? It means you're fearful of yourself. It means you're fearful of being what you need to be in order to get to where you want to go. Do you know what the common denominator in all those uncertainties are? Is you. Do you believe in yourself enough that you're going to do the work, yes or no? So I can put them all together and I can go back with them and I can combine it all together into a position where that is what it needs to be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, because I had this guy yesterday where I ended up sending him back his down payment just because it's like, we went through every single avenue with that. The guy was just so like paralyzed. I ended up making him at least make a decision and he ultimately said no, which is, that was his to make. But yeah, it was just the guy was just like I thought the guy was literally gonna like pass out in his chair. Like
this 1 second. Hello? I am perfectly fine. You've literally caught me, buddy, on a coaching call from the wealthy consultant. Jesus, there's a guy I haven't heard. I did, yeah. No, you're fine. You'll have to give me a call back, buddy. All right. Cheers, pal. Good man. All right, bye-bye. Jack Sick or Jackie Welch. Let's get some people on here. Right. I put a post up yesterday, and not everyone has done it. So who hasn't done it? Coach David, why haven't you done it? Matthias, why haven't you done it? Mikey Lopez, why haven't you commented? Benji Dane, why haven't you commented? Juan Kalo, why haven't you commented? Valentin Younger, why haven't you commented? Mario, why haven't you commented? This is the accountability, guys, that I walk and talk with every single day. So let's hear it. Come on. I want to hear the excuses.
I haven't been on Facebook.
Please, nobody tell me, not one person tell me they did not see it. Because if I offered $1,000 to the first person that commented, guess who's going to comment? Every single person. Okay, so I don't want to hear I didn't see it, because everyone sees it, because we actually put at everyone on it. So let's go. Who wants to go first?
I just switched, like I actually just got onboarded by a new offer. So last week I didn't take calls.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't comment.
Okay. Would you be fair to say if your girlfriend didn't call you at night and then you were angry at her, and if she said to you in the morning, babe, I'm so sorry I never messaged you back, I fell asleep, would you still be angry?
No,
No.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
No.
no, you wouldn't. So when people ask you a question, buddy, what you need to do, you need to be honest. You need to be upfront, because that is the accountability. That is the standard that I require. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good man. Next person, David, let's go.
Well, you're not gonna like my response, but onboarded to new offer, so I really haven't been on Facebook or anything, so I don't know what you're regarding to.
Okay, perfectly fine. And the reality is, guys, you're not telling me, you're telling yourself. So like whatever you say, it's not directed at me, it's at yourself. Right, Mario, go for it, buddy. Did you see the comment? Did you see the post yesterday, and why didn't you comment?
I saw the post. I just haven't had time. I've been a bit overwhelmed the last 2 weeks.
All right.
Well, 12, 14-hour days, 10 patients a day. I'm hiring a third therapist, so I'm training a therapist too. So
these are all good positive things, buddy. I remember.
Oh yeah, amazing. The accountability is not there.
Clients when I met you. Yeah,
sorry.
Remember that you couldn't get clients when I met you. Now you have the other side of the problem, which is you've too many clients. So it's always a good.
Yeah, I have a capacity issue now, so I'm hiring, which is great. So
yeah, so in future, buddy, just stay on it, because that means then I don't have to call you out in front of everybody. Valentin, I'm disappointed at you now, my friend. So you can fucking come off mute and tell me exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Honestly, like I didn't see it because I'm completely stretched with training setters, which is painful.
So he's stretched. Mario's also stretched. That's fine. Perfectly fine. That's all I want to hear. Who else hasn't commented? Benji, let's go for it. Juan, let's go for it. Come on, guys.
Bill, I haven't commented because I didn't make sales last week, so that's why I didn't comment.
Okay, did you have to take calls last week?
Yeah, I took a few calls, but I've been mainly sending personalized DMs.
Okay.
Like sending like 25 a day. I've gotten like 2 responses.
25 DMs to who?
Like based on Instagram, like to other business owners.
You send 25. Why not do 250?
Fair enough.
What are you doing? What do you do with your day? That's what I'm like. If my setter turned around and said to me, he sends 25 meshes in a day, he's done, gone. He works for me. You work for you. So like, this is what I said to I'm gonna have a lot of arguments between now and the end of the year. Why? Because I see what I don't like. I see people putting down tools. I see people giving up on the year when there's like 7 weeks left. Makes no odds to me whether you give up or not, but I'm going to do my best to make sure you don't give up. So this is the first thing that I see, okay? This is the first thing that I understand. Who here wants to make a lot of money? Coach David doesn't want to make any money. Okay, everyone wants to make a lot of money, right? That's great, wonderful. Guess what has to happen, guys, for all you guys to make a lot of money? And I went through this with my one-to-ones this morning, okay? You know what has to happen, guys? Someone tell me.
A lot of work, massive action.
A lot of work has to be done. There is no substitute, guys, for the labor. The only substitute you have for the labor, guys, is somebody else's labor. Do you know what that means? Does everyone understand what I just said? Probably not. I'll tell you what I said there. When I made my first 100K in the business, right? Just take this number for argument's sake. I work 10 to 15 hours a day. Now, in order to be able to get back my time, what do you think I have to do as a business owner?
Hire.
Hire. Why would I have to hire?
Buy back your time.
I'm not buying back my time. I'm buying someone else's time so I can have my time to do something else. What I mean by that, guys, is this, right? You all want to make life-changing money, which is absolutely brilliant. If you don't, you shouldn't be here. That's the first thing. But what it is not going to do, guys, is you cannot replace the labor. Does everyone know what I mean by that? If it takes you 6 calls a day to make 10 grand a month, you cannot get the 10 grand without the labor. So either you're going to do the labor or you're going to have to pay somebody else to do the labor, like I did when I became a business owner. This is the problem that I see. This is how people get stuck. This is why people do not progress in life, is because they make a little bit of money, you make a little bit of sales, and what you guys end up doing is this. You take 3 days off. You start buying watches that you shouldn't need. Sam, I'm looking at you. You start buying cars that you shouldn't be driving because you can't afford it. You start buying houses that you shouldn't be living in. You start renting out apartments on Miami Beach. You start buying first class trips to Dubai. You do all of these things because you see other cool people doing them. And what tends to happen, guys, is that labor that you've just spent all month putting into has been completely washed out. And now what you have to do is you have to start the cycle all over again. This is how, guys, you never progress. This is why you're in that bubble of being stuck under 10K months. This is the exact formula that fucks up every single salesperson. And then salespeople come to me and say, I'm completely burnt out. I can't do any more calls. I'm like, yeah, because you're doing it for the sake of living a life that you shouldn't be living. I don't fly first class, just to let you know. I don't even fly business. Okay? I don't fly first class, I don't fly business, and I do not stay in 5-star hotels. Every time I go, guys, I will not fly anywhere unless somebody pays me to be there. Do you know what that means? So I flew to New York. Do you think I paid to go to New York? No, somebody else paid. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is you have to live cheap. You have to live under the limit that you're making. Why? Because if you don't, guys, you're going to be constantly in a feast and famine state. And that's why you can't simply do a fucking post. And that's why you simply can't make yourself accountable, because you're fucking doing shit that you shouldn't be doing. Does all that make sense? Am I completely out of line? What I'm not asking you to do, guys, is sell all your fucking belongings and go live in a fucking bunk bed with somebody. But what I am saying to you guys is you're never going to get ahead, guys, if you spend everything that you make. This is why you're in this state of feast and famine. This is why you can't do a simple fucking post. This is why you can't be simply accountable to yourself. This is why you can't put up a fucking conversation and say, I haven't taken calls this week. I'm going to do better next week. I've taken 6 calls this week and I haven't closed any deals. It's because you're all afraid to look like a fool. That's why. And the only people that are fools are the people that have to work all around the clock, guys, to make the money that you're making. Why not just get smarter with it? Yeah, so I don't need to keep going on and on and on about this, but what I'm trying to say to you guys is very, very simple. When I ask a question to the group, when I make a post and I put it in the group, do you think I want 4 people out of 70 to comment on it? Do you think I want 8 people out of 55 to comment on it? Do you think I want every single fucking motherfucker in my group to comment on it? Which of those 3 do you think I want? Do you think I deserve your comment if I go out of my way to coach a training? Now look at them, making you guilty. It's called making you guilty. So please, if I make a post, if I make a comment, all I want you to do, guys, is have the decency to let me know and my company know where the fuck you're at. Because I cannot help you guys if I do not know. Okay? I cannot help you guys into different opportunities if I do not know. I cannot help you guys if you do like what Faik has done, is you sit on the sidelines for 3 months and then you come to a non-stop call today and you tell me that, oh my God, I'm broke. Oh my God, I'm not here. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's fine because you're watching the game being played rather than wanting to get into it. So do not do that, guys. If you're not going to be here and partake, I don't want you. I don't need any of you. Let me just break this down. I don't need any of the students. I don't need anybody. I only want you if you want to be here. What that means, guys, is I have the skills and the tools and the fucking education and the experience to change your life. I've done it hundreds of times. But if you don't want to give that effort, and if you don't want to do what I need you to do, and you don't want to fucking make a comment when it fucking takes less than 14 seconds of your fucking time, yeah, Valentine, Mario, like that bullshit is like when I talk about ownership, when I talk about leading, like I don't take that because that's like horseshit, right? So I'm not taking that. Yeah. But if I ask you to do something, I'm not doing it because I want to be a 9. I'm doing it because I want to figure out where the fuck you are and I want to help you make it better. That's it. That's all it is. Okay. So in future, if I ask you to do something, okay, do it. That's it. All right. You don't have to text all of the people that message you back, but I would highly suggest you message the people that you pay back, because those are the people that you're paying to actually help you, correct? That would probably make the most sense. I don't know. But that's just me. I don't know. All right. So that's what I have for you guys in terms of everything. I just saw it today with one of my one-to-one clients. It's like you can't get ahead, guys, if you spend it all. You know, you can't get ahead, guys, if you're living way above your means. And look, I don't come from a lot of money either, and I'm sure a lot of you guys weren't raised with fucking silver spoons in your mouth. I'm sure there's a couple of you that were. Good for you. Wonderful. That just means you got to go the opposite way and you got to fucking find it within you. I have a chip on my shoulder, so that means that I have to deliver because I want to prove it to all you motherfuckers, but I want to prove it to the thousands of people out there that I can. Yeah, so I have that chip on my shoulder. Not a lot of people have that chip on their shoulder, so I have to prove that every day. Okay, but for you guys have to prove it to yourself firstly. Now you can't do that, guys. Is every time that you start the first of the month, you have to go into the feast and famine. You got to get cuter. You got to get smarter. You got to get more educated about what you're doing and how you're doing it. The best person I know, other than me, that knows what he's doing is Jimmy Hayes. He lives way below his means. He saves an awful lot of his money, and he's not in your face buying stupid shit he doesn't need. I waited 2 years to buy my Range Rover. Could have bought it after 2 months. Just let that sink in. I waited 3.5 years to buy my first Rolex. I put $1 million into my business before I bought a Rolex. Just bear that in mind. I see some of you guys running around with Rolex making 4K a month. You're like, are you fucking retarded? Yes, you are. Like, why? Okay, so if you want to get clever, guys, and you want to actually be in the game full time, and the reason I say that, guys, is because what tends to happen all the time if you're in that fucking fight or flight is that the pressure will get too much and then you won't be able to sustain it. That's the problem. Benji, am I right? The pressure will get too much. If you're in that fight or flight, you're not making enough money, then you just go and do something else and you miss your opportunity. That's what happens, guys. Literally, you see it all the time. People that make a lot of money, they make no money, and then they go out of the industry. If you want to be here long term, guys, you've got to be really clever about how you operate with money. And I know it's not you, it was never usual for me to see lots of money in my bank account. Even today, it isn't. And you got to get familiar with that. And you got to get to a level of standard that is your new standard. But what I would say to you guys is if you're just going to make it and spend it before it even hits your bank, you're going to always be in the fight or flight. You're going to be always in the feast and famine, and you're eventually going to crack because the pressure is going to get too much. That's it. Okay, so I don't want to see it. I see it all the time. People mention me all the time. Someone says, like, I've had people that have come to me and making 25 grand a month, and I say to them, how much do you leave at the end every single month? They're like 4 grand. I'm like, where did 20 grand go? They're like, I don't know. I'm like honestly, like break it down for me. Where's 20K gone? That's how they can't keep going. That's how they can't keep leveling up. That's how they can't keep training. So this is just an observation I saw this morning when I was training. And I want you guys to have it because I see an awful lot of you in the space of fucking up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. The game is not to go up and down, guys. It's not a roller coaster. Like, if you want to get kicks, shits, and giggles out of it, you're in the wrong game. Go fucking surf or go fucking to the amusement park. If you want long-term sustainability, you got to look at it as long-term sustainability. There's no point making 12K 1 month and then back down to 6. There's no point making 10K back down to 3.5. Who's in that kind of bubble where you're up and down, up and down, up and down? Every month you don't know what the fuck is going on. Rachel, I'm looking at you. Yeah, you're up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, because there's no sustainability. You're in a space where this is the problem. You're in an offer that is completely volatile in itself. Now, if you fucking meet volatility with more volatility, guess what you got? Because if your spending habits go up and then down and up and down, down and up and down, down, how is it ever going to be sustainable? It can't. So this industry is volatile in itself enough that you cannot bring your volatility into it also. Because that means then that you have to work every hour under the sun, you have to work Saturdays and Sundays, and it's why you don't look forward to your holidays. Because you have to work to live and to keep the level that you're already living at. If I could do it all again, I would do absolutely nothing different. I'll tell you why. Because I locked myself away for nearly 2 years. I didn't do anything, didn't fly anywhere, didn't shake hands, didn't buy anything. Literally didn't even look at the bank account. People ask me all the time, where did you come up with the 000? I came up with the 000 every single day is because I didn't even see the bank account. I just left it there. Didn't even want to know. Well, a lot of you guys are spending it before you even make it. That's why you're too busy to study, too busy to train, too busy to do a post, too busy to do this, too busy to comment back. Because you're spending it before you make it. And then you're in that fight or flight, and then you understand that the more people have to speak to, the more money you're going to make because you're closing at 36%. But you can still close at 36% without spending fucking 80% of your revenue. And then that means that you can get back 5 hours every single week. And you can pour 5 hours into getting better, and then you go from 38 to 62. And then you just doubled up without actually doing any more extra work. That's how you do it. But the problem is some of you don't want to do that because you want to spend money. Now, here's the other side. I don't give a flying fuck what you do. You want to spend all your money on coke and women? That's great. Good for you. You're going to have a fantastic time. But just understand that it will come to an end because your offers won't stay forever and you will end up in that bouncing up and down and up and down. So my words of advice for you guys, for whatever you want to take, is try and make your life as sustainable as it possibly can. Get up at the same time, train at the same time, and that means physical, mental, and emotional. Whatever you guys do, I don't really care. I don't really know what you do, but make it a routine. Make it sustainable. Make it a system that you know you can repeat. Because if you know you can build a system, that means you have production. That means that you have a routine. That means you can follow it. Some of you guys start your day at 12 o'clock. Some of your days then is 2 o'clock. Then it's 3 o'clock. It's just there's just too much. There's too much volatility. If you're going to an office every day, you'd be in the office every day at 9 o'clock. That's how you have to look at this career. You start every single day at the same time. You finish every single day at the same time, unless it's a Friday or whatever it may be. You got to earn your right to be off. And the problem that I see is you guys don't want to be off because you're spending money faster than you're making it, which means that you have to work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because you have to rather than you want to. Jimmy Hayes, I'll always come back to Jimmy because he's very clever when it comes to money. And I didn't give him any of this stuff. He's just very clever. He said to me about 6 months ago, he says, once I hit a certain number, I'm done. And it was the first time I heard someone say that. I was like, fuck, that's fucked up. But it actually makes a lot of sense. He's not in it to make a lot of money. He's in it to make a lot of money to live the life that he wants to live, which is his true North Star. My North Star is I want to be the very best. So that means I got to make it all. So we're completely different animals. But it's important, guys, that you understand, because if you guys don't know what you want, then how can you get there? And if you keep spending, you won't be able to have, which means that you have to keep working, which means that you can't enjoy your weekends, which means that you have to work all the years under the sun, which means you work into Christmas and Thanksgiving in a state where you're uneasy and you're anxious and you're nervous because everything is getting shut down. Yeah. It's like when you've got kids and you know that the toys need fucking 55 different batteries, and you know that everything's going to shut down and you haven't got battery. You're in a panic state because you know you're going to ruin Christmas Day because you haven't got fucking batteries. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. That's what I'm seeing in the market. That's what I'm seeing now. I'm seeing the same faces with the same problems, with the same issues, because you're not living your life to the true value of what it should be. So what I keep saying to you guys all the time, yes, you got to learn your skills, but you got to also build your life properly. You got to go to work properly. You got to take this shit serious. Because if you do, guys, it's the best industry in the world, in my opinion. The fastest way that you make the money that you want to make without having any overheads. There is no overhead, not one. You got internet, you already paying it to fucking watch your sport. You got a headset, you already got it because you're listening to your music. You got your computer, you already got it because you're watching whatever you watch online. So you already have everything that you need. So there is literally no overhead. So what I would say to you guys, and what I want to leave you with, and then we're going to train, is that just get a little bit smarter about how you live your life. Get a little bit smarter about how you make your money. Get a little bit smarter about how you keep your money. It's not about how much you make. Okay? It's about how much you keep. Because I see a lot of people make money. But then I see them struggling living in fucking Colombia. You're like, how are you making all this money and you're still struggling living in Colombia, sharing an apartment with 7 other people? What's the point in that? So, make your money, keep your money, get smarter, right? Let's train. Anyone any issues with anything that we've gone through? Anyone struggling with anything?
I had a question, Bill.
Yeah, and you know who's really bad with money? And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to throw one of my best friends under the bus, Nicky Schroeder. Awful. If you want to compare and contrast between Nicky Schroeder and Jimmy Hayes, they're two bald, but they live their lives in completely different spaces. So Nicky Schroeder is the epitome of make so much money that it doesn't even matter how you spend it because I know I'm going to make it back. But you guys do not have that skill set yet. So you shouldn't live your life like that either. Okay? Okay, let's go for it, buddy.
I had a guy the other day where you say, you ask the question, do you feel like with what you're doing, you're going to get to where you want to be, or you feel like you need to make some small changes? And he said, yeah, I think I'm good with what I have.
Yeah, no, the problem that you have is you never put a timestamp on it. Do you want me to tell you what it is? Do you feel like with what you have in place now, you're going to get to the level of income that you want to make as quickly as you want to get there? You're going to have to make some changes to speed it up.
I do say that. Maybe I don't say it right. I know. You're right. I'm in front of, yeah. But I do say that. Like I say as quickly and as powerfully as you want, or you feel like you need to make some small changes.
You got to frame it in a way that ultimately the speed is designing to the outcome. What I mean by that is like with the speed that you're going to get there as quickly as you want to get there. So with what you have in place now, do you feel that you're going to get to the level of income you want to make as quickly as you want to get there? Or you're going to have to make some of the changes to kind of really speed this up? And what would he say? He said, let's say he said, no, I am going to get there. Then the logical question is, okay, well, why are we here then? Like, if you're going to get there, then just keep doing what you're doing. What are we doing here?
That's what I asked him.
Yeah,
so why are we on this call then?
What did he say?
I honestly don't remember. I wrote this question down, and it was.
Here's the other side, guys. Like, you're all like fishing with a net. Eventually, there's going to be fish that get through the net. Like, there's only so much marketing, there's only so much pre-handling, there's only so much everything that you can do. You are all going to face retards on your call. I'm sorry. You all are going to face retards on your calls. I'm just telling you that. Okay? That's just reality. Because not everyone is like of mind. So you are going to face some of those people. Like, you are going to have people that are wet around the ears. That's just the reality, unfortunately. And people do want to waste your time. Yeah.
Right.
Like, what can you say to them? Like, you're going to get them. So like, what are we doing here then? And depending on how he answers that, it's like, okay, well, like, we just end the call here then. That's perfectly fine. I don't want to waste another 45 minutes with you.
Yeah, I didn't pitch him.
Yeah, just come the fuck off. Yeah, like, I'm sure, like, I like with my fitness guys, I have people that, like, when I coach my fitness teams and stuff, like, will jump on. They'll be 4 stone overweight. You ask a question like that, and they'll tell you, yeah, no, I really think I'm going to get there this time. You're like, bitch, you've been overweight for 30 years. You ain't getting there. You know what I mean? But like you can't argue with foods. You can't argue with stupidity is the expression, but like you just can't argue. What's the point? You know what I mean? It's just dead time. I'm just moving on. Yeah. Roland, go for it, buddy.
Yeah, I have a question on going binary and interrupting people.
Yeah.
When shouldn't you do it?
What, interrupt people?
And going binary, yeah.
When should you interrupt people?
When shouldn't you do it?
I don't know. It's kind of like how long is a piece of string, buddy?
Yeah. The thing is, like, I'm so far I haven't really interrupted people. I haven't come binary, and of course it takes some time that way. And now I'm trying to just learn that as a technique because it doesn't come natural to me. And I'm thinking, is
Just
there?
do it. See what I did there?
I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's hard to. It's you can't. I can't tell you when. There is no like magic bullet of how and where to interrupt people. It's like because every conversation is completely different.
Mhm.
I mean, everything is so individually based. That's why sales is amazing because it's like you can't have the same conversation 100 times, even though it sounds the same, but it's not the same because different people, different problems, different concerns. To give you a blanket answer, just say after 14 seconds, just cut somebody off is not the right thing to say. Like,
No, I mean, like, there are things you want to get out of the sales call, out of the conversation with them, and there are some things that are just fluff. They don't really add anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like I'm letting go people out of a tangent because I feel that that's the way how they think. Sometimes a little bit scatterbrained and they need their time. And then I realize, no, I could have technically just.
I always say if it's steering away from positivity, then I don't want to have it.
Yeah.
So if the conversation, so I hate to keep coming back because it's just the top of my head. I was coaching this morning and someone was just giving out, and I was like, "Yeah, look, stop now. Yeah, no more." Do you know why? Because all you're doing is complaining, and I'm not here for you to listen to you complain. You're spending a lot of money to come and spend time with me. I don't want to fucking be your counselor. Okay, so shut the fuck up. So when it turns away from being positive to negative, I don't want to hear. That's my result. When it's not productive and it's not helping, then I don't want to hear. Yeah. All right, Sam, go for it, and we're going to try it.
Yeah, Bill, it's about the training, rapid fire objection handling from May. It was how to get out of the yeah, I'm not asking you to remember all of that, what you said, but it's like when you tell them to just like, let's say I wrap all this up in an email, what are the next steps from there? And they say, well, I mean, I'm probably gonna think whether I'm gonna get started or not, right? And then you take it, so you kind of, do you want to just show them like what is in there, like, because I was kind of stuck at that point, like kind of like what happens then?
Right, let's role play then. Very simple. Okay. Say, let's give me the objection.
Yeah, yeah, it's all right, Bill. Could you just shoot this over to me in an email? I just want to take some time.
Yeah, I can. I absolutely will. Before I do all that, do you feel what you can actually get you there? Because I don't want to shoot you an email, buddy, if it's going to be wasting your time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel it can. I just kind of want to, like see it as a plan, and it's just gonna take some time that way.
Right. Okay. So, do you want to take time, or do you want to actually see information? Because those are two different things, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, just want to take a little bit of both, right? Like I just want to make sure that everything is there, and like what we've gone over, and then I just want to marinate on the decision.
Right, because what I will literally send you over is about 6 words, because I've literally just gone through it all, and I don't want that to come across as disrespectful, but like it's just going to be reiterating everything we've gone. From what we've actually gone through now, does it work? Yes or no?
Well, I mean, it seems like it, yeah.
Okay, so now it's a case of it seems like it. So is that it doesn't work and it's never going to work and we're just wasting our time, or is it that I'm just a little bit unsure on some certain points?
Yeah,
sending you an email.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Could you repeat that one, please? The last one. Sorry.
Fuck. I said if you're unsure, there's no point sending you an email because you're just going to be unsure with more information.
Okay.
So there's no point sending an email if you're already unsure. It's a waste of time. So what do you feel won't work? Can I ask? So I got to bring them back positive.
Okay. Do you want me to keep on playing? Oh,
No.
that's it.
No.
No.
You just got to bring them back positive, and you got to bring it away from the email to the information that I've already given you. Do you feel that makes sense? Do you feel that's going to work? Do you feel that's going to get you there? Yes or no? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, right. Let's go. Benji, I want to see some objection handling. Stephen, okay, you can be the prospect. Benji, let's rock and roll, buddy.
You said Steven.
Big Stevie, yeah.
Hey, Steven, that's pretty much all I got for you. Next steps here is process the investment, get you rocking and rolling. Would you be doing debit or credit?
Yeah, I mean, I have credit card.
Okay, cool. When you're ready, you say you'll be doing a credit card or?
Yeah, I mean, just want to take some time to really just mull over this for a couple of days and you know see what's actually possible. Like and can take it from there.
Yeah.
Can I get back to you? Can I reach you through the email you sent to me?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You could take
Yeah,
a
because I
couple
just want to make
days.
sure like we're done with Thanksgiving and then yeah, I can look at and we can talk on Monday, something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Like before you do go away and take a couple days, like with what I've gone over, do you actually feel like this can help you get to where you want to go, or how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. Sounds like something that
Like
can
sounds
work.
like it?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
everything you presented, it kind of makes sense. I
yeah,
see
like
like what you
what
guys are
part
doing.
about what I've went over today makes you like 100% confident that we can get you to where you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, there's no 100% guarantee anyway, like you said, but just seems like that is actually support, and it seems like you have a structure, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
sounds like something that could be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, but like what specifically pertaining, like what parts of like the coaching, the accountability, the on-demand process that we have, like what part of like all of that I've covered today, like even makes you feel like it can?
Yeah, I mean,
Pause. So you got to be very careful, Benji. You're using words can and he's using words could. You're saying would, he's using would. You got to mirror the information and you got to get rid of that. You cannot ask, why do you feel you're 100% certain that I can get you there? Who here is 100% certain on anything in life? When you start saying things like this, Benji, what you are doing, buddy, is you're selling. Because you're not 100% certain that you're going to get in there, are you? You could be 95%, you could be 92%. Like your success rate is like 86%, 89% or something like that. So I can't turn around and say I'm going to 100% get you there because I don't know. You may be the 1 out of 10 that fucking fuck it up. You know what I mean? So just be very mindful how you use your words, guys. As I always tell you guys, this is the differentiator between making a little bit of money and a lot of bit of money. Is your objection. And if you cannot objection, guys, you're going to be in trouble. You got to be very careful what you say. You got to be very articulated with what you do. You got to be very pinpointed with what's going to move the needle. You're saying can and 100%. He's saying if, but, maybe, could, would, should, because he's not bought in. So you want to have a positive conversation, but he's already shown you a negative conversation. And positive and negative don't do what? Benji, what don't they do?
They don't work. They're gonna clash.
They just don't mesh. You know what I mean? You can't have a positive conversation while he wants to have a negative conversation. Don't work, buddy. You want to go up and he wants to go down. All that's going to happen is you're going to stay in the middle. You're going to just keep going around the circle. You got to be very careful, guys, what you're listening to. You got to be very, you got to articulate and understand what you need to be moving the needle. You cannot say can and will when he says could, would, maybe, should. You got to get him negative into positive to be able to have that conversation. If he's negative, you got to be able to take him out of the negativity. You're just blanking it over because you're using more positive words when you're trying to overcome it by being more positive. Don't work. You're like, why do you feel it's going to 100% work? He's like, well, I don't, because I've just told you that it could, maybe, would, should. you're never 100% right. It's one of the answers he gave you. You know what I mean?
Would you then go, Bill, the other way? Like, what makes you feel like you might fail? That type of route?
Yeah, correct. Because if he wants, if you think of it like this, guys, right? In every part of the process, if you want to have positive and he has negative, what do we do?
We go back negative to get those
That is not a
yeses.
difficult question, guys. Everyone should have literally shouted it.
We go back negative to get those yeses.
You have to go back negative. If you want to have a positive conversation, Natalie is just staring into a field of thistles. If you have a positive question and he comes back or she comes back with a negative answer, guess what we're doing, guys? Like this
is a battle.
No, it's not a battle. It's ultimately we got to go back negative for it to go back positive. This is fucking grade 1 stuff, guys. For you guys that have been around the block, that have been in here more than 3 weeks, like this is fucking grade A stuff. Like this is like minimum. If you have a positive conversation and he comes back with a negative answer, what do? You got to go back negative to bring the fucking bitch back positive. Benji, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get the positive first and then go and get the negative. But yeah, I should have just tackled the negative first.
How did that work out for you?
Not good.
Yeah. So like it's not a case of what I wanted, it's a case of what presented itself. You know? That's the game. Like that's the judo. That's the chess moves. You know what I mean? It's never gonna go the way you want it to go. This is what I want you guys to understand. This is not a process of 1 equals A, 2 equals B, 3 equals C. This is not how it goes. If you want it like that, guys, you're in the wrong game. If you want to do that, go look at Facebook ads because it just one button presses this, one button does that, the other button does this over there. That's that process. That's system process. This is not a system. What I mean, guys, is that you're dealing with who? Who are you dealing with?
People.
Yeah. Do you think people have systems? In theory, in life? No. Yes, we can abide by systems, but we don't talk in a system. We don't make decisions in systems. Does that make sense, Benji?
Yeah, makes sense.
So you got to go the other way with it. You know what I mean? Whatever it presents itself, that's what you do. And you should know because you're leading. You know what I mean? Okay, Natalie, let's go, sister. Let's rock. Fika, you falling asleep, kid? You look like you're falling asleep. You all right, buddy?
Writing notes. I'm writing notes.
Notes. Right. Okay. Natalie, go for it. David Valdez, let's go with her if you can.
Okay, if that's all I've got for you, if that's sounding good, I can register you now, get you all set up with the email that you used for this call.
Yeah. I feel like I just want to take some time, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, you can take some time. Before you go do that though, can I ask, do you feel like this can get you to XYZ?
Yes.
Okay, what specifically about that do you feel like can get you there?
Well, to me, it's, I guess, just having the possibility to just understand the blueprint and see what other guys are doing that are successful. So I think that would be a great thing for me.
Okay, so when you do go away to think about it as you process, like what's going to come up for you between now and then that you're hoping to sort?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's the reason why I want to think about it. But yeah, like it's just a matter of taking time. Like I've never done something like this in the past.
Yeah. So is it a case that you're just uncertain about this?
I think.
You think, is there something about this that you don't feel like will get you to where you want to be?
Well, no, I mean, I saw that, there's a bunch of people who are crushing it with you guys, but I'm not really sure if it's going to work for me. Like I've never tried something like this in the past. So, I just got to make sure that I'm making the right decision this time.
Yeah. You've never tried something like this, but what if you don't do it? How will you get there?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So if you're at one side of a bridge, I don't know if this is a good place to bring that in. If you're at one side of,
see where it goes. Like you
okay.
can fail. Like it's not like no one's coming to punch you in the back of the head, sister. Like no one gives a flying fuck.
Okay. So yeah, you don't know necessarily if it's going to get you there, and picture being at one side of a bridge, right? And you see where you want to go. How do you think you're going to actually get there without taking the steps?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I have to do, but yeah, I'm just not sure if the best one to take those steps.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything, you're right. But okay, I'm stuck.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like that's fine. Did someone fly through the back of your house and punch you in the back of the head? No.
I don't think so, no.
It's okay to fail. That's what I want you guys to know. Like this is the reality. This is what I see all the time. People are afraid to fail. No one cares. All right. You tried something, it didn't work. Now you know. Now you know. Do you know what I mean? So what needs to happen, Natalie, is that we need to take, and this is for all you guys, you need to, there's going to be a time in the conversation, guys, when you see I can talk theory at somebody and I can talk about greatness and all this great stuff that's going to happen, but I need to start talking to the person now. And you'll start wanting to talk and engage with that person. You know what I mean? And there's going to come a time in your conversation when you say all of the great hooks and all of the great frameworks, and it lands, but it doesn't land. It's like, no, all that makes sense. ... And the great big word that's going to come out is called BUT. But then when you start hearing all this makes sense, but this is really good, but when you start hearing answers that have buts in it, then you got to go for the person. Because they're listening, but guess what's not happening? They're listening to you, but guess what they're not doing?
Not hearing.
Correct. Yeah, I see it all the time. People listen all the time, but they don't actually hear what you're saying. Okay, so there's going to come a time in the conversation, and I always say it's around when people start saying answers with but in it.
Okay.
If that means I'm listening. Yeah. Do you ever have an argument with your husband, Natalie, and he's like, yeah, no, it all makes sense. It all you're like, I understand exactly what you're saying. Then it's the but. Yeah, I understand exactly what's going on, but, which means I'm listening to you, but I'm not agreeing with you. That's when you have to, and then there's no point continuing on that path. That's what I'm saying, guys. You all guys are continuing and continuing and continuing. And then you get, yeah, but 3 times. And then it's like, okay, now I'm stuck. And you got to flip it. You got to go after the person. The minute you hear, yeah, but, is the day that you go, okay, well, now I've got to go after him.
Can you do an example of that in that scenario?
Yeah, right. I'll do one now. David Valdez from the same play, Big Dog. See where you go. Davey, I don't have a whole lot more than buddy. If you're willing and wanting, let's get you started. Let's get you making some money, buddy. Happy enough?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy, but I would like to say, just go ahead and think about it.
You want to think about it? Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, this is it sounds great and everything, but I just want
to. Before you do think about it, because this is really important for me and the company. Like everything we've gone through, do you feel it actually can get you to the level of income that will change yourself and your kids' life? Yes or no? Because that's all I actually care about first.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, a lot of you guys crushing over here. I feel like having that blueprint would definitely help me out, but I've just never done something like this in the past, so I just got to make sure that this is the best thing for me and the best thing for my future.
Yeah, and I absolutely appreciate all that. And the big question for me is like, how will you know if it's going to work or not if you don't even put yourself in the position? You can't. It's like I wanna jump into this lake, but I'm too fearful that it's cold. Guess what happens? Zilch, nada, nothing happens. You just stare out at this lake, hoping, wishing, praying. It's the kind of same situation that you're in right now. Like, what do you feel is potentially holding you back from making a decision? Because you know that we will get you there. So what's coming up for you, buddy? Based on your own personal situation.
Well, yeah, I feel like I've never really done something like this in the past, so it's just like kind of I'm not sure if I can be successful.
And just because you haven't done it doesn't mean that you're not willing and wanting, or is it?
No.
What have you never done in the past until you actually done it? I'm sure you didn't never drove a car when you were 3 years of age, but now you're 25 and you can drive a car, can't you? So it's not necessarily about what you do. You're always going to be scared. It's about what you do when you are scared and that you are a little bit unsure of things, which is going to determine whether you're going to be successful or not. The big thing for me is like, do you believe in yourself? Yes or no? See the switch, Natalie? Yeah. Big thing for me is, do you believe in yourself? Yes, no. I know now I could spend another 4 minutes explaining things, another 6, 7, 8 minutes explaining things, another 10 minutes explaining things, another 8 minutes going through a process. Well, I'm looking at him, I'm like, nah, this kid don't get it. He's giving me buzzwords. I'm like, now straight in binaries. And now I go with the binaries. David, like, do you believe in yourself? Yes or no?
Yes.
Like, how old are your kids going to answer?
I mean, one's 2, the other one's 5.
When do you want to be successful in their life, kind of? Oh, there's a peach.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been wanting to be successful for them. I mean,
I know, but that was 5 years ago. Like, when do you want to be successful? Do you want to take another 5 years when they're 10 and 7? Or do you want to actually start leveling up? So by the time that they are 10 and are 7, you actually are providing the life for them that you actually want to give them. Because there's 2 ways here now, buddy. You got a fork in the road. Either you start believing in yourself and you start making decisions that are going to give your family what they want, or you just keep wasting time, which is okay. But just know that the longer that you wait, the worse it's going to be. Because every time that you do not take control of your life, you keep chipping away at your own confidence. Keep chipping away at your own certainty. You keep chipping away at the beliefs that you have in yourself. So when I ask you, do you believe in yourself? The only answer that you should ever have is yes. And the only answer when I ask you is, when do you want to be successful? The only answer is yesterday. So now we're either going to fucking have a fork in the road where you are going to believe in yourself and you're going to make the decision to actually pump yourself up and you're actually going to go for it, or you're not. But then you're not saying no to me, you're saying no to your kids. You're saying no to being successful for them. Because that's who you're doing it for, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
You want to say no to your kids, yes or no?
I don't want to say no to my kids.
But are you going to say no to your kids, yes or no? I know I don't want to say no to my kids ever, but sometimes when they want to jump out the top floor window, I have to say no. So the question is for you, are you going to say no to your kid now, today, about making this decision, yes or no?
No.
There you go. See the switch, Natalie? Switch was like, he understood what I was saying, but he wasn't listening to me. So then it's like, okay, I'm going to get slap happy now, big dog. We're going to have a little bit of fucking emotion here, and I'm going to go binary, and we're going to fucking bring in all the people that you love. And that question split the whole conversation. When do you want to have success? For you, that question will be, when do you want to start living your life? Question can be, when do you want to look in the mirror and be happy? Can I ask? What's the logical answer, Natalie?
Yesterday.
Why didn't you do it yesterday?
Are we role playing? Yeah.
You're going to be like, because I'm overweight. Well, if you're overweight yesterday and you're overweight today and you're going to be overweight tomorrow, if you don't start actually making decisions that are going to make you like less overweight, correct?
Correct.
Like, do you believe that your kids deserve you to be the best that you can possibly be? And the reason why I know you're not necessarily the best that you can possibly be is because you're here. Would that be fair to say? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so when do you want your kids to see the best version of you? Oh, there's another peach.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
Let's make the decision now. You know what I mean? So like, you can bring it in, and like, that's just a very simple process for you. But like, once you start seeing what you're saying doesn't land, like David was understanding, but he didn't want to know. So then it's like, okay, now let's go binaries. Let's go back to him as a person. Let's go to his soul. Let's go to who he doesn't want to say no to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We go one more.
I have a question on that, Bill. So when David said, I've just never made this decision before, the first thing that ran through my mind was, with all due respect, David, like you've also never, with all due respect, David, you mentioned that you've actually never hit 20K months before. So in order to actually do something that you've never achieved, do you feel like you have to make the same decisions or different decisions? Is that like too hard or?
No, it's a great question.
Okay, cool.
It's like, with all the respect, you've never hit 20K a month either, though, right? No. Okay. Well, if you want to hit 20K a month, like, do you think you have to kind of make better decisions in your life? And then you can tie into the identity. You can go, well, like, let's do this. When you get to 20K, how would you make this decision right here, right now? That's building on your future identity, isn't it? The David that's making 20,000 a month, if he was in this position right now and he knew that all he had to do was believe in himself, how do you think that guy would make the decision? You think he would back himself and push on, or do you think he's going to be the David today that makes 2K a month?
Okay, so just a different path to get to the same result.
Yeah, like you can. That's what I'm saying. Like it's all moving all the time. There's no right and wrong way to do it. It's like whatever works. You know, within the framework. That's why I give you guys so much leash. There's nobody pull back. Your creative flexibilities are endless. You can do whatever you want as long as you understand what you're doing. Okay. Anyone, any last questions? Thursday, we're out. The guys are off, I'm off. Don't message me. Go enjoy your fucking holidays. Go enjoy whatever the fuck you want to do. Jimmy Boy can walk around Lisbon, enjoy his coffee, do whatever. He's not working. I'm not working. There's no one working. I've made an executive decision. I didn't tell my team. I'm making it now. There you go. It's done. Right? Jack Sicker, go enjoy your day. Jackie Welch, enjoy your day. Jimmy, enjoy your day. Nobody's working. So you message me, you ain't getting a message back. Just know. These are the benefits, guys, of being really good at what you do. You don't have to work on holidays. You know what I mean? Paid holidays. Everybody except for you. You get a base anyway, so fuck off. So go enjoy your holidays, guys. If you're in the States, go enjoy for the day. Like the world, this is the other side, guys. Like Friday, sales are still going to be here. Sales is still going to be around. Okay, so go enjoy your day. Go take your time off. Go fucking shut off your laptop. Turn off your phone. Go enjoy your family. Go get absolutely white guard wasted in Italy. Go and drink all the fucking gin and juice. And go and enjoy yourselves. All right. Anyone, any last question? And here's the other side, right? If you don't enjoy this Thanksgiving, bank it. You know what I mean by that? I mean bank it, as in like, I ain't going to do this again. And use it as fuel. The amount of Christmases that I absolutely hated because I wasn't able to live the life that I want to live, I'll never forget. Like you'll always hear me say it, guys. That year that I couldn't buy my kids presents, like that haunts me every night. Haunts me every single night. Going into the coffee shop, guys. I remember when I came to London first, going into the coffee shop and looking at the billboard and saying to myself, Jesus, that costs way more over here than it does in Ireland. I don't think I can afford that. Like all that stuff I remember. Even now, today, I look at coffee and I'm like, fuck, I don't know I want that. I'm talking 2-3 coffees deep a day. You know what I mean? So like I remember all of those things, and that's why I'm not frugal. I'm educated when it comes to money, because I remember those days, guys, when I didn't have it. That's what I'm saying to you guys. Yes, you'll make money very, very quickly if your skill levels will go through the roof like I did, but you gotta be able to manage it effectively. There's no point making it and spending it before you got it. So you're just gonna be an expensive rat playing a different game. You know.
On that question, or on that topic, so it seems obvious, but on like Christmas, Thanksgiving, for a salesperson, should they just not take calls all day, because like people aren't going to pick up?
I wouldn't even bother. Like, and to be honest with you, like when I walked into sales, I did a couple of months in a part-time role, and then got to Christmas, and then shut down from the 19th, 20th, and then go back to the new year. The same thing every year now. Yeah, there's no point me being here. Like I'll do a couple of hours, but I'm not building the business in that period of time because there's nobody about. Like people are not in that space. If you have to understand as well though, David, this is for all you guys. Like you sell people that hate their lives. In theory, right? You sell people
This
out.
would be a good time.
Yeah. So let's say you sell how to make 10K a month. You're selling to people that don't make 10K a month, that hate their life, that probably trying to escape it. How are they going to escape it? They're not going to escape it by talking to you. They're going to escape it by shutting off, turning off their phone, not having communication, getting drunk, taking drugs, and doing whatever the hell they want to do. Yeah. Fucking Stephen, you mad cunt. Does that make sense? Jesus Christ, mute yourself. Does that make sense? So you're going to be speaking with people that aren't in the buying pocket anyway. They want to escape their life. They're not going to have a conversation of how shit their life is. Same way if you're selling fitness, Natalie, wasting your time trying to speak to somebody over Christmas. I mean from the 15th to the end of the year. Waste of time. Now, you can still make sales and they're with a future start date of Jan 1st. And you can hold them to that. They can put down payments down and then you can work towards it. But you expecting people to drop 3.5K before Christmas when they're going to blow it all out of Christmas anyway, it's a waste of time. That's what I said to you guys about all your business owners are going to do what when it comes to Christmas. They're going to pull back, Thanksgiving, pull back, New Year's, they're pulling back because they know people aren't making decisions, wasting time. If it's costing them $700 to put a call on your calendar, you know, they give you 10 calls a week, that's $7,000 in marketing, whatever it may be. I don't know. You know, they just save the 7K, stock up, and then go after it again in Jan 1st. That's what happens, guys, all the time. So the whole concept for you guys is you want to make as much money as you possibly can so that you can enjoy your holidays. That's how it works. Like that's how it should be. You know, and you should take an extra couple of days off as well. You know, you should take an extra couple of days off. Don't come back the 1st, come back the 6th. When everyone else is slamming their head across the wall because they have to go back to work on the first day that they officially start back, which is the 1st or the 2nd or the 3rd, you take an extra couple of days off because you've made your money. You've done your thing. So when every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry, you know, is going back to work, you go to Disneyland or something and you take the time off there and you enjoy that because you don't have to work. That's the life that I want to live. That's what you should be doing. You know what I mean? When everyone has to fly back on the 1st or the 2nd and the fucking, you know, flights are astronomical because everybody's trying to get back that doesn't want to go back. You go back on the 7th. It costs you about $14 to go from one side of the country to the other. If you did it on the 2nd, it's going to cost you about $2,000. That's the beauty, that's the benefit of living a life where you don't have to work. That's where you all should be getting to. It's not a case of buying cars and watches and this, that, the other. So it's about living a better standard of life. Doing it because you want to do it rather than having to do it. That's the difference. All right. Okay. See you later on. Jack Sicker, stay on for a second, big dog. Good luck.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay. Bye-bye.